to know ukuthi kanjani, listen to this video. Lochan kubafana msiza lo. Guys, few days ago there was an interview whereby Dr Ndlozi was interviewing uPanyaza Lesufi, where he mentioned ukuthi he might be or he's leaving the radio because there's too much work. And then shortly after that, Julius Malema was interviewed by Sakina Kamwendo, SABC, whereby he also mentioned that ukuthi if Ndlozi is coming back in the EFF, he will put a red carpet for him. But let's firstly listen to what Dr Ndlozi said to Panyaza Lesufi.
That's not limited.
Number one. I can't
I'm not the guy.
I'm just gonna stick with TM. Serious? Yeah, it's too much work.
And then after that, this is what was said by Julius Malema to SABC.
If Ndlozi was to come to the EFF tomorrow, I will put a red carpet for him. Because yes, he's one of the few who conducted himself in a very different manner. Because I know for a fact that once they leave the EFF, they start behaving like they are potential patients of mental hospital.
So the doors open for Mbuyiseni, Floyd?
No. Mbuyiseni never took a T-shirt of another political party. So the constitution of the EFF is clear. Once you leave the EFF and put on a T-shirt of another political party, you cannot come back because the EFF is not holding in where you do check in, check out.
All right.
But Mbuyiseni didn't check out and go into another political party. He said, I'm taking a break. Let me make a reflections and decide on my way forward without being emotional. Of course, he has been engaging in the discourse, but he has never degenerated.
Let's run.
So guys, let's reflect a while back where in the NPA of the EFF, Julius Malema was asked, Guguti, will Dr Ndlozi coming back to the EFF? And he didn't want to answer that question. Let's look at the video.
We're not going to answer the question about Ndlozi. You've got his number, and some of you talk to him, call him. I'm not responsible for Ndlozi. 90% of the people who were here, who expected to be here, are here. That's what matters. Whoever is not here was not supposed to be here from the beginning. So you are not going to reduce this organization to some individual without him. He's not here. I heard people say he's here, he's doing this. He's not here. He's not here. And it's not our interest to entertain such nonsense. It's not our interest. We're dealing with political issues here, not egoism, not people who think they are bigger than this organization. It will show them once again that it's bigger than all of them. So we as a matter of principle, SG and policy position, we're no longer going to answer any nonsense about Ndlozi. Never. When a journalist asks you that question, you must say, ask another question. You can be smarter than that. Ask something else. This matter is closed. You can talk about it amongst yourselves, but don't bring it to us. We are refusing that. Don't do that. Don't reduce the whole ideological political report to Sunday world gossip, because that's what they thrive on. And we know what is the relationship of Sunday world, its owners and Ndlozi. We don't want to talk about it. Don't push us. Don't push us. We know Ndlozi's friendship with the owner of Sunday world. And by that extension, we know his relationship with Sunday world.
And then when Dr Ndlozi was questioned also by the media, how does it take a removal yake lapa EFF, this is what he said.
Well, I did indicate that the suspension didn't rely on the legal instruments summoned or occasioned by the constitution of the EFF. I disagree with the way the leadership dealt with my matter, but I'm also aware that they did what they did because they believed they were protecting the organization from the threats that were perceived. Of course, they said they've got an intelligence report. I can confirm that the information that they were working on was purely false. I never planned to go to the MKP. I still don't. And certainly in relation to the other information that relates to my not speaking, that Floyd is leaving, and so on and so forth, is for the public to situate that particular departure of the then Deputy President within an entanglement that the leadership deliberately put us in, with firstly President Zuma and ultimately with the MKP. And this entanglement tactic crystallized in the Progressive Caucus with a document, which was the Progressive Charter, binding us to a common mission. It was difficult for me to make sense of Floyd's considerations as an act, as it were, of firstly sabotage, but also of selling out. In any way, he didn't cross the picket line. But I had no interest whatsoever in the outfit of the MKP. And I advised him, you must tell the leadership, and he did. But as I say, I think that, they acted in the way they did because they believed they were protecting the organization, which they should. But also, I would hope that moving forward, we all focus on the bigger picture that is about making this country a better place to live in and the cause of economic freedom in our lifetime.
And then, guys, let's put this everything together. Ne? A week ago, Usinawe Tambo was questioned lapho State of the Nation address ukuthi like ucabangane about this thing ukuthi Julius Malema said ukuthi he will put a red carpet. Let's listen to his video.
Not to my knowledge. I think the president was making an example of the conduct of people who have left the EFF and speaking to the fact that Dr. Ndlozi has behaved differently to others, and in our constitution, someone who has not joined another political party is always welcome to come back. So I'm not aware of any conversation being had with him. That's up to him and whatever he thinks he needs to do. But that example must not be misconstrued as any attempt to try to bring him back. It was just an example.
So, we've heard all the sides. Ne? Here's my analyst on this whole scenario. Julius Malema, when he was questioned EFF press a couple of days back, he said ukuthi icala lakhe lila lase East London, his case, he will, if ever it happens that he's found guilty on that case or he's convicted, he will try to appeal. If ever appeal yake doesn't work out, obviously he will be removed in the Parliament of South Africa. So being removed in the Parliament of South Africa, EFF won't have a commander-in-chief. So who's going to lead the EFF? By the look of things, I do not think Guti Marshal Dlamini have what it takes to lead EFF in the parliament, because Nyakumbulu Marshal Dlamini futunama temper issues. The other time a parliament was shaba one of the white guys, Gepama, like he can't control his temper. So EFF, it will be a train that doesn't have a driver. So Ndlozi, him coming back in the parliament, it will be an advantage. That's how the politics works, guys. You need somebody that can drive that thing to a success. If ever Julius Malema is no longer there, who else can drive EFF? To my view, no one. Julius Malema, he's the one that was perfectly leading the EFF in parliament, and then once he's gone in the parliament, they will need somebody with a strong charisma and strong personality. Ndlozi is the perfect person, because if you look at the previous times whereby Ndlozi, Floyd Shivambu and Julius Malema was steering this political party in the parliament, it was a success. So him coming back in the EFF, it will be an advantage. And as well as, like, people love Ndlozi. People love the way he addresses. Like, it's very nice to being led by somebody who's also learned, because Ndlozi, he knows how to speak to the media. He knows how to address certain issues of political landscape. So this is my view. The reason Ndlozi left leaving E702 is because of he's going back to the EFF, and Julius Malema, him saying If ever he's found guilty, he will go to the Winnie Madikizela house and still lead the EFF. So Chazutin, EFF, it will be led like Umkhonto Wesizwe. Umkhonto Wesizwe is led from Nkandla. EFF, it will be led from Winnie Madikizela house. Julius Malema will remain the president, but not being in Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. But all the decisions that are being taken in the EFF, they will be taken by Julius Malema in the Winnie Madikizela house. So maybe Dr Ndlozi could be the chief whip or something there in Parliament, leading the Progressive Caucus or leading the members of the parliament of the EFF, making sure that the parliament is fully represented by the EFF in parliament. So, Nina, what do you think about these revelations? This is my view, guys. I don't know what is well prepared to represent EFF in the parliament. So let me know in the comment section and also follow for more. Like, comment, and repost.
At some of the funny moments he initiated in the House.
Dr. Ndlozi is one of the politicians that has a popularity appeal across political spectrum. His personality earned him the title of being the People's Bay. The House burst out laughing when he mocked the former DA MP, David Mania, who makes gestures when he speaks.
Hotspots across the West.
Honorable Mania, please take your seat. What's point of order you said?
Point of order. Are we in an auction here? Honorable member.
That is not a point of order.
Dr. Ndlozi also has a keen eye for detail. When former ANC MP Boy Mamabolo dressed up for the State of the Nation address in February 2020, he had no idea that the former MP will make reference to his outfit.
It's not a perfect wedding. On what rule are you rising? On what rule?
Honorable Ndlozi, take your seat.
The same goes for Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, Gwede Mantashe. He had not buttoned his blazer correctly. Ndlozi noticed that and shared a light moment.
To check if it's parliamentary for Honorable Mantashe to put the wrong button in the wrong.
Order, honorable members. Order. Honorable Ndlozi, can you please...
I'm protecting the dignity of GNU now.
Honorable Ndlozi.
Former Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu, was once lashing at his former party, but Dr. Ndlozi raised a point of order to distract her.
Order. You know, Honorable Speaker, Mistress Ginger must not do this. Why are you allowing Mistress Ginger to talk like this? It's not going to happen. President Zuma has not responded to a simple question as to when he's going to... I'm speaking, Honorable Speaker. I want President Zuma to respond.
He also welcomed back to Parliament former Finance Minister Nhlanhla Nene after a couple of years of absence.
Yes, Honorable Ndlozi.
Thank you, Speaker. We want to welcome Mr. Nhlanhla Nene from the BRICS Bank, where he was nominated by Mr. Zuma. Welcome back, Chief.
Dr. Ndlozi became a member of Parliament in 2014 until his resignation.
What do the people of South Africans want to hear? One, they don't want to hear that you don't know these criminals and you are saying the reports are not coming to the police stations. That is dishonest. By the way, you're the only people who don't know these criminals that are extorting communities. Only the police in South Africa are claiming ignorance. Our people know. And the reason the police are claiming ignorance is because the police are embedded. It's because correctional services is embedded. There are people who come from prison who are convicted of murder, who are transported outside, commit heinous violent crimes, murder and assassinations, come back into prisons. When you're looking for them and you're reporting them, police say those people have been arrested already. What is your strategy regarding these activities? You do not have. So what did you come here to Parliament to do? PRMT exercise. This government of National Ntondo is not going to succeed if it is obsessed with media. You've got to have a comprehensive, concrete strategy that is based on the lived experience of our people to combat crime. Don't come here for a PR stance. You don't have a strategy yet. And it's siyaphela. What must be done? Go and implant counterintelligence capabilities. We know these gangs, our people will tell you. 2, build internal state capacity. Let us do away with tenders. Tenders have crippled the local state. Many of those workers, let's insource them. Let the government build schools directly, build clinics directly. It will halve the crime of extortion in our country. The HODs in Ekurhuleni, in Tshwane, in Johannesburg withhold payments of contractors. Some of them are crippling black businesses. They must get bribed or they don't get paid. Arrest these administrators. Let us see you raid the administration to disarticulate it from extortion. Finally, please use digital and AI technologies. Implant cops with crime and GPS so that you know where the cops are, who they are talking with, who they are seeing at all material times.
Your time is
that you
now
can speak about the
expired.
crime strategy, not a PR exercise you came here to perform.